Minutes ago, the world felt ordinary, predictable, shaped by routines and unnoticed rhythms, until news began to circulate, first quietly, like a whisper traveling between curious minds, and then louder, until it reached you with the weight of an unexpected revelation. Elon Musk had spoken, and what he said wasn't about Mars, rockets, self-driving cars, or artificial intelligence. It wasn't a financial prediction, a political comment, or a technological roadmap. It was about you, your potential, your next chapter, your unrealized gifts, your future. And although he didn't say your name directly, the message pulsed with the unmistakable sense that it was meant for people who stand exactly where you stand in life right now, the ones on the edge of becoming something greater than anyone expected, including themselves. It's strange how one message, one insight, one moment of realization can disrupt everything you thought was fixed. There's a sensation that moves through you, not panic, not confusion, but awakening. A sense that maybe, just maybe, you've been underestimating yourself for far too long. The world has a way of conditioning people to shrink, to compromise, to doubt, to settle. But sometimes the right message arrives at the exact moment when you've grown tired of your own excuses. Sometimes the universe delivers a sign with enough force that it loosens every limitation that has wrapped around your mind. What Musk revealed wasn't a prophecy, but it felt like one. It wasn't destiny, but it felt like the outline of a blueprint you were always meant to follow. He spoke about the coming shift, a period in the world where individuals who take bold action, express their creativity, and push past the invisible ceiling of their own fears will rise faster than anyone expects. He spoke about people who are underestimated, overlooked, unseen, or quietly preparing. People who think their dreams are too far away, or too late, or too impossible. People who grew up without connections, without perfect conditions, without someone cheering them on. People like you. The stunning part of his message wasn't that the future will change. The stunning part was that you are the one positioned to change with it, and benefit from it, more than you realize. His message was simple but seismic. The next wave of opportunity doesn't belong to the loudest, but to the most persistent, not to the ones who look ready, but to the ones who refuse to quit, not to the ones who have already succeeded, but to the ones who are hungry for their first real breakthrough. So you start thinking, what if he's right? What if everything you've been through wasn't random or wasted but preparation? What if the setbacks were sharpening you, shaping you, forcing you to strengthen muscles you didn't know you needed? What if the moments you thought were failures were actually training for the part of your story that hasn't arrived yet? You feel the truth of it. Not because Elon Musk said it, but because something inside you recognizes it. There is a part of you that has always believed you were meant for more growth, more fulfillment, more purpose, more contribution, more impact. A part of you that has always sensed that you were capable of doing something that would make your future self look back at this exact moment and say, that was the turning point. The moment you stopped letting life happen and started shaping it. 20 minutes ago, you might have felt unsure about where you're heading. Maybe you were doubting your path, questioning your choices, or wondering if your goals were unrealistic. Maybe you were carrying weight you never talk about, the quiet disappointments. The pressure of expectations, the fear of stagnation, the worry that you're running out of time. But suddenly, the idea that your future holds something stunning, a breakthrough, a transformation, a rise, feels possible. Not because of hype or fantasy, but because of everything you've survived, learned, and endured so far. Every experience has been sculpting a version of you who is capable of stepping into the next level. Growth rarely announces itself while it's happening. It disguises itself as struggle, repetition, confusion, frustration, effort, discipline, resilience. Only later do you look back and realize you've been rising the whole time. Musk's message simply exposed the truth that your trajectory has always been upward. Even on days it felt like decline, he talked about people who will build things, ideas, businesses, movements, solutions, art, systems, innovations, that will shape the next decade. And that includes you, even if no one around you sees it yet. Even if you barely see it yourself. He said the world is entering a period where unconventional thinkers, dreamers, risk-takers, and everyday individuals with relentless determination will rise faster than the institutions trying to control them. He said that if you learn, adapt, act, and stay open to opportunity, your future will shift in ways you can't yet imagine. What he didn't say, but what becomes overwhelmingly clear, is that you are not behind. You are not late. You are not stuck. You are exactly where you need to be to begin your ascent. The future hasn't passed you by, it's waiting for you to step toward it. Every moment from this point on is a chance to align with the version of yourself who refuses to settle for the bare minimum life offers. Your journey isn't defined by the pace of others. It's defined by your willingness to keep going. To fail forward. To trust yourself. To believe that growth is happening even when results are invisible. To act even when motivation is low. To stay focused even when circumstances are unpredictable. To practice patience without losing ambition. To follow your curiosity without needing permission. To allow yourself to imagine a future bigger than your past. Your next chapter begins the moment you decide that the old one isn't enough anymore. Elon Musk emphasized that the world is shifting toward people who know how to take ownership of their lives. People who don't wait for ideal conditions. People who understand that the future rewards those who move. And when you think about your own dreams, your own goals, you realize that waiting has cost you far more than any risk ever will. You realize that your potential isn't dormant, it's underutilized. You realize that everything you've been through has not weakened you but prepared you. There is something powerful about hearing that your future can be stunning. It interrupts the quiet hopelessness that sometimes hides beneath the surface. It rewires the internal narrative from "is it possible?" to "it's probable if I act." It shifts your identity from someone who wishes to someone who builds. It turns fear into fuel, doubt into strategy, and hesitation into momentum, you begin imagining what your life could look like if you approached your days with intention instead of obligation. If you treated your goals like commitments instead of dreams. If you trusted your instincts instead of silencing them. If you allowed yourself to pursue what excites you rather than what others expect of you. The world is filled with people who gave up too early. Who talked themselves out of opportunities, who settled for comfort instead of growth. But that's not who you want to be. Something in you knows you are meant to create, to contribute, to rise, to explore the edges of your potential. When Musk described the future, he emphasized that tools, technology, and global connectivity have reached a point where average people can create extraordinary results. That anyone with the desire to learn something new can do so in days, not years. That anyone who wants to build something can start from wherever they are. That anyone can grow, adapt, and reinvent themselves at any age, any stage, any moment. And when you hear this, something clicks. You are not waiting for the future to change, you are preparing to step into a future where you change yourself. The stunning part of your future is not a single event. It's the cumulative effect of every small choice you make from this moment forward. The decision to believe instead of doubt. The decision to try instead of avoid. The decision to learn instead of stagnate. The decision to take the first step instead of waiting for the perfect one. Big transformations are built from consistent, sometimes invisible, action. Your future becomes stunning the moment you decide that staying the same is no longer acceptable. You imagine the version of you who looks back one day and smiles at this exact moment. The version who thanks you for refusing to let fear run your life. The version who achieves what you once thought was unrealistic. The version who becomes proof that one person can influence their destiny through clarity, courage, and persistence. The version who realizes that greatness is never accidental, it is a choice repeated daily. You've always held a spark. But sparks alone don't create transformation. They need direction. They need intention. They need belief. They need your permission to become fire. Today, something changed. The message broke through your subconscious barriers and awakened something that had been waiting to be acknowledged. You see your potential not as possibility but as inevitability, if you allow it. The stunning part of Musk's message is that you are not limited by your background. Your past, your mistakes, your doubts, or your circumstances. You are limited only by the story you tell yourself about what you deserve and what you can do. Change the story, and you change everything. You realize that the world's greatest accomplishments were created by people who had no guarantee of success, who were ridiculed, who failed repeatedly, who were told their dreams were unrealistic. People who kept going anyway. People who believed in themselves long before anyone else did. You are made of the same potential. You are built from the same human resilience. You carry the same powerful combination of uncertainty and possibility. Your future becomes stunning when you stop underestimating your ability to create it. you begin to feel a calm determination replacing the old patterns of hesitation. A sense of readiness that isn't loud but steady. You understand that your next move doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. You realize that the universe responds to momentum, not intentions. That alignment comes from action, not overthinking. That clarity grows through experience, not waiting. 20 minutes ago, you were the version of yourself shaped by yesterday. Now, you are the version shaped by what you choose to believe today, and something tells you that the world has not seen your best yet. The moment settles in, subtle yet electric, like the first crack of dawn over a horizon you never noticed before. It's quiet, yet it resonates. It is the realization that what Elon Musk hinted at 20 minutes ago was not a fleeting statement, it was a call to action. A reminder that the future is not something that happens to people, but something they actively step into, claim, and shape. And the deeper truth hits you, the future has been waiting for your courage, your ideas, your unique energy all along. Consider your life as a series of doors. Some doors you've walked through already, some remain closed, and some you didn't even know existed. Musk's words are like a key, small yet precise, hinting that one of those closed doors leads to something transformative. The door might appear ordinary, even unimposing, but on the other side is a version of your life you've been only imagining. It's not luck, nor random chance, it's alignment between preparation and opportunity, between readiness and timing. You start reflecting on the subtle ways you've already been preparing. Every late night learning, every failure endured, every risk taken, every uncomfortable conversation, every bold step you didn't feel ready for, these have been building your resilience, sharpening your insight, and teaching you the skill of persistence. These moments, previously seen as burdens, now reveal themselves as instruments tuning you for the next crescendo. Your future isn't sudden, it's cumulative. Every choice, no matter how small, is like a stroke painting the masterpiece you are about to reveal to the world. There's an extraordinary lesson hidden in the message. The world's most transformative shifts rarely happen to people sitting idly, hoping for change. They happen to those willing to step forward while others hesitate. To act while others overthink, to persevere while others quit. Your future is stunning because you're about to become the person who understands that action, even imperfect action, is the bridge between desire and achievement. Musk's insight is a mirror, showing you that the world rewards movement, initiative, and relentless faith in oneself, and you realize that you've been waiting for external validation far too long. Recognition, opportunity, or approval are not prerequisites for greatness. They are byproducts. Musk's words are a nudge to stop waiting for the world to hand you permission. The only permission you need comes from within. The moment you embrace that, a surge of possibility opens up. You feel the tension of uncertainty dissolving into clarity. The path ahead is not perfectly mapped, but it is visible enough for the first step, and that's all you need. Think about the people who have influenced the world. They did not wait for guarantees. They acted on belief, on vision, on the quiet insistence that their lives were meant for more than mere survival. They took imperfect steps, faced criticism, experienced failure, yet persisted. And when their breakthroughs came, the world labeled them as geniuses, visionaries, innovators. But genius is not a gift, it's a product of persistence meeting opportunity. And Elon Musk's revelation is telling you that your window of opportunity is here. Not tomorrow. Not when circumstances align perfectly. Now, you begin to see your obstacles in a new light. Every challenge, every limitation, every self-doubt becomes a stepping stone. Not a barrier, not a verdict on your potential, but a lesson, a tool, a call to grow. Musk's words ignite an understanding that adversity is not a sign of incapacity, it is a sign that your future is substantial enough to test you. The bigger the challenge, the more it signals that what lies ahead is worth the effort, worthy of your commitment. Suddenly, the mundane tasks of life take on a new meaning. The emails, the meetings, the responsibilities, the routines, they are not just chores. They are practice. They are the training ground for the version of you who is about to operate on a higher plane of effectiveness and influence. Even the smallest act, if done with intention and awareness, becomes part of the architecture of your future success. Musk's message subtly reminds you that greatness is not always flashy or immediate, it is deliberate, patient, consistent. Your mindset shifts. You understand that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Every hesitation, every doubt, every I can't is a compass pointing you toward growth. The real courage is not in the absence of fear, but in moving forward despite it. The stunning future Musk alludes to is for those willing to act in spite of uncertainty. To embrace discomfort, and to trust in the unseen path that unfolds as they move. The message is also about vision. Vision is more than a goal, it is a magnet. It draws resources, opportunities, and allies toward you. It transforms your energy from reactive to proactive, from passive to magnetic. Musk's insight reminds you that your imagination is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Your ability to envision the life you want creates a gravitational pull, subtly aligning the world to respond to your intention, and you begin to consider the legacy you want to leave. Not fame or fortune necessarily, but impact, the ripples your actions create in the lives of others. Musk's words are a reminder that your future is not just for you. The value you produce, the ideas you share, the kindness you extend, the courage you embody, these will extend beyond your personal sphere. The future is stunning not because of what happens to you, but because of what you create for the world. The realization sinks in that you have all the resources you need, your mind, your energy, your experience, your resilience. Musk's message is a catalyst, not a roadmap. It does not prescribe exactly what you must do, it reminds you that the power to act, to innovate, to transform, has always been in your hands. It has always been waiting for your recognition and your courage to claim it. As your thoughts settle, a new sense of urgency emerges. Not frantic, but purposeful. Every minute counts. Every decision matters. Every action is a building block. The stunning future Musk hinted at is constructed moment by moment, day by day, fueled by persistence, curiosity, courage, and self-belief. The revelation is not about overnight miracles, it is about steady, unstoppable momentum, and finally, you feel a quiet excitement, almost a hum beneath your skin. The kind of excitement that comes when you know you are about to step into a phase of life that demands more of you than ever before, yet promises the reward of becoming the person you were meant to be. The world may not yet notice. Others may not yet understand. But you know. You feel it in your resolve, your focus, your readiness. You are poised at the edge of something remarkable. 20 minutes ago, nothing seemed extraordinary. Now, everything has shifted. Musk's words were not just a statement, they were a spark. A spark that lights the fire of potential that has always existed within you. And now, you are ready to fan that spark into flames that will illuminate the path forward, not just for yourself, but for the impact you are destined to create.